Welcome to Hey Therapist. I'm your host, Leslie Ross. With me is my producer, Jay Wesley Lindley. Let's get mental. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome. Here we are.
We're going to continue that episode from last week. So if you didn't listen to last week's episode, go listen. However, as random as we are, you can probably just continue on with this one and not miss a beat. So let's go.
Let's go with Leslie and Riley. This next question, I was just reading about it. I was like, oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
we may have to skip it. I'm going to read it, but we
have the right to pass.
Because it's just something that may be a little bit more like personal, but I'm going to read it aloud just so that if the listeners, want to evaluate this with themselves. What do you not want anyone else to know about you?
Oh, ew. Golly. Why do I not?
And when I read this, there's not anything that anyone doesn't really not.
I was just thinking that.
I'm very transparent. So it's like when I read this and then started thinking back, I'm like, there's not really anything. There is one thing that, I am going to pass because I just don't know if I'm ready to share that yet.
That's fine.
But there is one thing that I'm like, not very many people know this.
Uh-huh.
But there are a few people that do know this, but it's not anything that I'm just I lead with often. But I'm going to pass on it until maybe it may become a later topic as this podcast grows, because I do think it would be a hilarious conversation for us to bring up.
Okay.
But at this moment, I think I should pass. But if you're listening to this, what do you not want anybody else want to know about you? Yeah.
As I sit here and I think about my negative qualities. Because I know it's shocking, but I do have a few.
Oh, no.
I know. It's crazy. But I think I've talked about all of them. I mean, I think the thing that I don't like people to know about me is I become very insecure. And,
yeah.
But people know that about me. Yeah. I mean, I've been very vocal about it on here. I'm vocal about it in my life. I need reassurance. I get very insecure. I have imposter syndrome quite a bit. It's just that little voice that I've never been able to squash. I've worked on it. I've got her under control. I can keep her in check for the most part, but it's there and it makes me very insecure and it makes me very needy. And I do not enjoy that part about myself, but it's not anything that people don't know about me, because if you know me, it's there. So yeah. I really don't know that there's a lot of things. I mean, there may be things that I have done in my past that people don't know about me, but that's not who I am today. So I really don't feel like it's relevant who I am. It's not who I am. It's who I was. And so I've talked about all my negative qualities on here. People know there's not a lot that I'm hiding.
Yeah, same. This one is probably going to be one of those questions that we could spend some time on.
Okay.
So I'm just going to ask and then we'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
What are a few things you thought you would never get over while you were going through them? Why did they seem so insurmountable, and how did you?
I think there's been a lot of relationship failures in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them I felt like I couldn't get over or get past for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
I did. However, I did at the time. I don't, some of them I don't really remember. So with my last marriage, I've talked about how abusive it was and how terrible it was. And I didn't know if I was going to make it out of there alive. In reality, there were times where I didn't know if I was going to. I didn't know if I would ever make it out of there financially. I didn't know if there would ever be a spot where I could leave.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know at one point if I had the strength to leave, because I was so beaten down, just emotionally and mentally. And there wasn't a lot of physical things that happened, but there was enough that it was concerning for my safety.
Mm-hmm.
But just mentally, emotionally, financially, I didn't know if I was going to make it out. There was a time where I had just succumbed to, this is my life.
Mm-hmm.
I've made this choice. I have to now live in it. Luckily, I didn't stay in that mindset. A lot of people do. I think it's some of those things that I never thought I could make it through. But then looking back, I look at it and go, why didn't I think I could make it?
Mm-hmm.
You just get in that self-doubt, and in the right situation with the right people surrounding you, or I should say the wrong people, it can make you feel worthless, and it can make you feel like you're not valuable, and it can make you feel like you can't do any better, and it can make you feel like this is the life you're going to live forever.
Yeah.
And now you can look back on that and go, how ridiculous is that? My goodness. I don't know why I even ever believed that, but it's easy to. So, there were times where, I have had relationships just devastate me, and I didn't understand the whys of it. And so if I don't understand the why of it, then it must be my fault. And you internalize that. Well, I mean, I'm just not lovable enough. They don't care about me. I'm never going to be with anyone. Like, there's been a time and up until recently, and who knows if this works out. I hope it does. But if it doesn't, there was a time before this last one that I really was just under the belief that I was just meant to be alone, as much as I didn't want to be, as much as I want love and I want to be loved and I want to be adored. I had really kind of settled into the fact that I'm going to be alone, and that may be the case again. I don't know. I think you just get into some mindsets, and it's hard to get past. But when you do, what you learn from that is important. And I think that that's where I come from. And when we talk about abusive relationships, when I hear someone say, I would never, and I say this all the time on here. I know you've heard it before if you listen, but if someone says, I will never be in an abusive relationship, I'll say, let me stand back and watch. I hope that you aren't, but it's real easy for that to happen. But if you tell me never again, I'll believe you.
And abuse comes in so many different forms. And I think that, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're.
But when I hear people say that, and I hear people refer to abuse, I'm very curious as to what their definition of abuse is.
Yeah.
Because I think that everyone thinks that it's just physical. Yeah. And they are not very real with themselves, that there are many different forms of abuse. And that's my thoughts right there. Yeah. Like that's it. Like I think that people need to dig deep about that before they say things like that. Yeah. Because they possibly are already in an abusive situation, and it's just not physical.
Right. It's coercive control. It's emotional abuse. They're
the abuser.
You're the abuser. A lot of people interchange the word toxic with abuse. It's a little toxic. It's a little toxic. No, it's abuse.
Can we stop using that word like that?
Yes, please. I would.
Like, the word toxic actually was formulated for chemicals.
Right. Or a Britney Spears song, whatever you want to do. But toxic is usually abuse.
Yes, let's just call it like it is. I mean, like, there's just so many things in this world that we've tried to dull down.
Yes.
Let's stop doing that and just say, no, that's abuse.
It's abuse.
Stop saying it's toxic. Stop calling the things a different vocabulary word just
to make yourself
think
feel
it's cool. It's not cool. This is abuse, and it's wrong. And you need to stop. Yeah. And if you're in it, then you need to work on trying to remove yourself. It's not as easy said as done. Right. But you can work towards that. Right. So.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that, it annoys me when I hear people say that, because it's like, well, no, it's abuse.
It's abuse.
They don't do this and they don't do that. It's just really toxic behavior. No, it's abusive behavior. And sometimes you may want to use the word toxic because it's not as glaring as the word abuse. And you yourself don't want to recognize that you are in an abusive relationship or you're being abusive to someone. So you dull it down, like you said, and you use the word, well, it's a little toxic. No, it's a little abusive.
I literally recently was having a conversation with someone, and they were telling me about a toxic friendship, and they kept using the word toxic. And I said, hold on, can you give me an example? Because I'm very much like, can you give me an example of what this person is doing? Because I don't like when someone just throws that out there. It's kind of like,
if you want me to co-sign, I need to know what
if you're telling me about this, like, give me an example of what they're doing. And I said, I'll be honest with you, that's not toxic. That's just them being mean. Like, let's not call it toxic. I said, I think toxic is a term that you're using to make it feel okay. Because the word toxic just doesn't seem as, like you said, glaring. And the word mean does. When you think about that, like, oh, they're very mean, you're like, oh. But when you say, oh, they're toxic, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's acceptable.
I mean, you have to think the word toxic comes across way more acceptable than when you say they're abusive or they are mean to me. They've put me into some very bad situations and were mean. Okay, they're being mean. Only you can change that. And at the end of the day, if this continues to happen, then I'm going to blame you for allowing yourself to be in it. So if I hear this conversation again, I'm just going to remind you of this current conversation that we just had. Right. So if you come to me, I'm probably not going to be the best one for you to come back and talk to me about this. That's why it would be very hard for me to be in the shoes that you feel, because I would be like, we're not having this fucking conversation again.
And what have we done to change anything? Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay, cool. Then that's where we are.
You need to go. Like, you're literally, my bandwidth is not available. So, yeah. But anyways, definitely for myself, I've been through some like crazy shit. I mean, a lot of people know some of the things I've been through that are personal to me, but when it comes to like me putting this out there to broadcast, people don't know these things. I have been through some crazy business situations that I never thought I would be going through. Some of them involved lawsuits. Some of them involved me losing my business. Some of the things involved financial ruin, me having to rebuild. I have moved away multiple times. I've come back. I have been in horrible relationships with friends. I've been in horrible relationships with significant others. Every moment of those things back in the day it all felt so insurmountable. Like, it does seem, why do they seem so insurmountable? At that moment, it did, because I didn't know how to handle it.
Right.
And not to put age on it, but I was in my 20s.
Okay.
I was being sued or being threatened with a massive lawsuit in my mid-20s that could have completely ruined me. It was the worst thing that I ever thought I could go through. But then I come out of it, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I can't believe I'm on the other side of this. I can't believe that, looking back to that moment, I mean, I still remember it. I literally remember the day that it happened. I literally remember it was on my 26th birthday.
Oh my gosh.
That it happened. So this was, pivotal moments in my life. I mean, it was terrible. It was terrible. I never thought I would be on the other side of it. Thank God, held on. I tell people, not everyone is meant to go through hard things. I mean, and not that I'm like so does that make you a different person? No, it doesn't.
Right.
But I don't think that certain people could have been on that side and come out alive.
Sure.
Like, when I say mental games that I have been put through, like, if I was to sit here, we could probably do an entire podcast about that on it in itself, of just the ups and downs and the mental strain that I held on to that I never talked about with anyone. No one knew. People knew I was hurting. They would literally, there is a dear friend of mine that still is very important in my life, and it was years, weekly, she would say, "You woke up in my heart. I'm praying for you today. I don't know what you're going through." And what she didn't know was all these things. She's the only person that she had such a keen discernment about me as a person that she could see this hurting man. And I was hurting so bad. And I think of like Robin Williams, this man that come across so joyful and so full of life, and he ended up committing suicide. And I thought, someone that to the outside world has always had it together. Like, people have seen this version of me, but they don't know. You don't know, what I mean. Like, you're sitting at home and you're crying all the time, and you're trying to get through this, and it seems so like the largest mountain you've ever had in your entire life, and you have nothing to climb it with. Nothing. And so many people don't know that about me. They think I'm an asshole. They have this such huge misconception of me. They think I'm better than them. And I'm like, you guys don't understand what I've had to go through to get to where I'm at right now. So no, it's not that I think I'm better than you. You think that I'm better than you, and that's you problem for you thinking that.
Right.
But the last big moment that I had was the Denver situation. And it was, I'm telling you right now, I know I was meant to go through that for everything, for where I'm sitting at right now. It all makes sense. Like, I just was talking about this the other day with Corner, and I said, everything makes sense of why that I had to go through all of these things.
Okay.
And the good thing, when I read this and it says, "How did you?" I immediately was like, how I did it was because I sat in it in solitude.
Yeah.
I talk about that all the time. I sat there in solitude. I did not I did not push it away. In the years past, I pushed this shit under. I would just go on. I wouldn't deal with my emotions, and then something would happen, and then I didn't know how to deal with things, and then it was just this domino effect, and then my life was crumbling around me, and I never felt like I could get my feet underneath me. But now that Denver taught me how to sit in solitude, how to deal with my emotions, how to process it, how to actually be okay that I was having an emotion about it and learn from it. That's how I did it. And now my feet are under me. I feel so much more secure in who I am. I do love myself. I didn't love myself like I thought I did. I didn't have a boundary like I thought I did. I feel like it's like that little kid that gets new shoes for the first time. He's like, let me show you how fast I can run.
Yes.
Like, that's exactly how I feel right now. And
because you're very proud of yourself, as you should be.
Right now, I feel like I could just take off running. And it's such a good feeling.
Okay.
And not everybody will probably be able to relate to that. And there will be some people that hear this that will. That will. And then when you have your moment that you feel like you can put your new shoes on and you can run, it's beautiful.
It is.
So.
And I think in that, with that question, it's important to understand when you are going through the hard shit, the things that you look up at the sky and say, why? Why me? Why am I having to go through this? What did I do? What am I putting out there? That probably nothing, because terrible things just happen sometimes.
Yeah.
And they happen to you. They happen to your friends. They happen to family. And when you're in it, it's why it's so important to stay in it, in the moving through it, staying in it, not just living in misery, but staying in it in the, I'm going to move through this. I'm in the mud, but I am going to keep moving my feet. And knowing also that I'm looking through a pinhole. Like when things get hard and when we get overwhelmed and when we're struggling, all you can see is the struggle.
Yeah.
You're in that pinhole looking, and you have to expand that view to say, wait, I wasn't going through this 6 months ago or a year ago or whenever you weren't before it started. And I was doing all right. I think I can do all right again.
Yeah.
How do I get there? And not accepting your fate as being miserable, accepting your fate as being in a bad relationship, accepting your fate as being in a terrible job. You may have to withstand that for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
While you make a plan.
Yeah.
But making that plan and just having a little ray of hope coming through that pinhole will help you get through it. And broadening that view. What does it look like if I do this, if I do that? Let me make a plan. Everything feels so hopeless in those times. But if you can find just that little pinhole of hope, you can scratch through that. You can make it a porthole. You can make it a window. You can make it a door, and you can get through it. And you can put on those new shoes and take off running. And if it's therapy, if it's medications, if it's all of the combinations, if it's just changing where you live, who you live with, who you let in your life, you have to start making those changes, and you can't live in it. And that's how you get through it. Is you make yourself.
Absolutely.
You put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
You get up, you move, even though you're in quicksand, even though you're in mud, whatever your analogy is that fits for you, you keep your feet moving.
Yeah.
And then when you look back, you're going to be like, it took me that long to get through that section?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I know so much more now. And you can move differently, and you probably won't ever find yourself in that situation again.
Yeah.
Because you've learned something. At least I hope you did. That's the goal of the hard times, right? Is to learn something from it. So sit in it, figure out what you've learned, because, they say everything happens for a reason. Sometimes shitty things just happen, but you can find a reason for them to have happened.
Yeah.
Like you said, you were in this situation. I've been in those situations where you're like, what did I do? What universe, God, whatever you believe in, did I piss off?
Exactly.
That is punishing me now.
Exactly.
And probably nothing.
Yeah.
Terrible things just happen sometimes. We align with the wrong people. We give our trust and our love and our faith to the wrong people. And we end up in situations, careers, friendships, partnerships, relationships that we didn't plan to be in.
Yeah.
You don't have to stay there. And then when you get out of it, you can look back and go, okay, I'm a better person now because of it.
Yeah.
It may not have happened to make me a better person, but I'm a better person now.
Yes.
Maybe I did need to learn this lesson.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what it did for me, because we want to make sense of bad times.
Yeah.
which is why the phrase everything happens for a reason exists, right? Because we want to make sense of bad times, but sometimes terrible things just happen.
True.
And there is no reason that they happened, but what can we learn from it? What reason can we give it? Let's give it some purpose.
Yeah.
And that way we can move forward through it.
Every lesson that we go through teaches us how to live. I always try to remember that. It doesn't teach us about life. It teaches us each how to live.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it is beautiful if you can step back, and like me being able to step back and you being able to step back and view it from a different perspective and look at it that way it's incredible. And I hope everyone is able to do that. And if you're not able, then there's ways to learn how to do that.
And if you want different, you have to do different.
And there's so many tools to help you out there. So
yeah,
that one was hard.
Next one.
What are your greatest accomplishments so far?
Oh, honestly, I think I don't really have a lot of, I'm very proud of where I am career-wise. I have been involved in a lot of trainings of individuals, law enforcement, other therapists, individuals. I love to trade. I love to teach, which is one of the reasons I started the podcast, is because I love to do those things. I like to take what I know and each one teach one is, I'm a firm believer in that. And it's something I feel like I'm good at. I'm a good teacher. I love, even scuba diving. If you don't know, you should if you listen. I am a dive instructor, and I've been teaching scuba for over 20 years. I've been an instructor, and I love it because
I think that's so cool, by the way.
Bringing joy to people and just being able to experience that with them and setting them on a different path and a different life. And because it is a different life under there, and it's just escape and being able to share that. And I'm good at it. It's one of the things I can say I'm good at. When there's problem students, they gave them to me. I'm good at it. And I think that's one of my greatest accomplishments. But honestly, I think it's who I am. And I'm a work in progress for sure. For sure. But I've worked very hard to be who I am. I don't have a lot to show for it. I'm not big and flashy. I don't have the money I wish I had or the career I wish I, there's all the things that I would love to improve. But I'm really proud of who I am and how I handle myself and how I carry myself, and being able to take accountability when I screw up and taking responsibility for myself. And when I'm being a certain way, or if I've been hateful, or if I've been, something and put something on someone that they didn't deserve, I'm really responsible to take that back off and trying to take care of the people around me. And so I really feel like one of my biggest accomplishments is just becoming who I am, because I've worked very fucking hard to get here.
I'm going to follow up and just say ditto. Obviously, with what we just talked about, you guys know we both have been through a lot. So greatest accomplishment is the same, like myself and the hard things I've had to overcome. And I'm very grateful that I can look at myself and say, I love you, Riley. I love who you are. And that is a huge accomplishment for someone that didn't like who they were and had been through so much stupid shit and had to overcome it. So that would be, that. I mean, we can take, and the thing is I've lost business, I've gained business. That's great. That's a good accomplishment, but that's nothing that I look at and be like, oh yeah, I'm so proud of this business that I built. No, I'm very proud of who I am. And the business to me is, it's just an extension of who I am.
It's part of you.
I don't want to be known for that anymore. Someone asked me the other day, they were like, what do you want to be known for in life? And I was like, not business. Because I said, that's all that people have ever known me for. They've always known me for that. And I want people to look at me and be like, your love, your light, your kindness, your ability to literally overcome any stupid task. And that's what I want to be known for. So I'm proud. I'm proud of us.
I'm proud of us too.
Yeah. This one's kind of cool. What would be too good to believe if someone were to sit down and tell you what's coming next in your life?
Syndication.
Same.
Like, honestly,
I immediately thought of it for our podcast, because I was like, obviously, like, our design business is moving well. I would love for that to grow. But I would, if someone was to sit down and be like, hey, you guys have signed a contract. We are fixing to move y'all forward. You're fixing to start making $100,000 a month. I would shit right here in this chair. I'd be like, Jay, I just
if
shit
I was
in your
just
chair.
making $100 a month on it, I would be so happy.
Listen, anything would be nice, but $100,000 a month. I'm sorry, I would literally die right here. I would just be like, what in the world? Like this? But yeah, if someone was, that would be pretty good.
Yeah. And I think it's the goal. I mean, I'm not gonna. I think we have a pretty good podcast.
I do too.
I think we have good rapport. I
just gotta get picked up.
Having Riley on here with me. I mean, if you guys listen from the beginning, go back and listen from the beginning. But you know, it gets better as it goes. I'll just, you know, like anything, it gets better as it goes. And, you know, I had some great episodes and I did some great things, but it's not the same when I don't have someone to talk
bounce
to
off,
and to bounce off of. And like I've talked about having different co-hosts and everybody that's been great to come on here with me. And it's just so much better now. And once Riley was like, I want to do this with you, like, because it just came as a whim.
Yeah.
If you listen, you know, it was just like, okay. And then he's like, no, and I'm like, no, seriously, come on. And here we are, you know, however many episodes later. And it gave me my spark back.
Yeah.
And this is what I want to do. I want to share information with people. I would love to have questions. I would love to do live shows. I would love to have interaction with the people. And we've talked about doing TikTok lives and doing, you know, YouTube lives and those types of things. And I would love to get to the point where we're doing that and building that audience and having that interaction, because I do feel like I have a lot to share and a lot of knowledge, and not just from my own life, from the clinical perspective. I have worked with a lot of people doing a lot of things. I have a lot of trainings that I can share in a way that's not so stiff like a lot of people share it. And I think that that's where we want to be. So yeah, I mean, syndication, I don't want to work. I want to do this, which is a lot of work. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work. But this is what I want to do.
Yeah, we'd be in the studio every day.
Yeah,
but I'm totally open to that. Yeah, same. I'm going to go with the same answer on that. Who from your past are you still trying to earn the acceptance of?
I mean, I would say my parents, and they listen. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. But I think for me, not everyone. I have been lucky enough to have good parents, and they have always accepted me. They have done some things for me that most parents would not do for most of their kids. Like, they've been wonderful and have always accepted me. But I think it's always about making them proud. Yeah. I want to make them proud. I want to make my family proud. I want to make my friends proud. So, you know, I want to be someone that no one ever looks at that's close to me and is like, oh, I can't co-sign on that behavior. I can't really, you know, they may be like, oh, we're at it again. Here we go again. Yeah. Like, I think that's probably a pretty common phrase for my friend and family group. Here we go again. But I don't want them to ever be ashamed of me or look at me in a way that they are disappointed. I don't want to disappoint them. So I would say, just in general, family, friends, parents, I want them always to accept me and be proud. And
I would say probably my parents as well, just because they fully just don't get my life. You know what I mean? And just like, and the thing is, do I need the acceptance? No. Like, because when I first read this, I mean, I'm not really trying to earn their acceptance. I think I'm beyond that.
It'd be nice.
I would love for them to just be like, hey, we love you for who you are. Yeah. That's it. That's all I need to be told. You know, I mean, it's not about accepting me or anything along those lines, but I do follow suit in that same area that you're talking about as well. Just like you do want that acceptance from your closest people. You want someone to be like, hey, I'm proud of you guys. Like, but that also goes back to, we really love our words of affirmation too. You know what I mean? So like, I would say probably just like my parents would be the main, but anything beyond that, I don't need it. I would like to have it. Yeah. But it's not even a big deal, even if they don't. I'm just like, okay, whatever, you know, but it would feel great.
I think it's true for both of us too, is our people that we surround ourselves with, even if they're disappointed in us, they're going to accept us.
Oh, for sure.
So, I mean, I think that goes to, like, I know that I have the acceptance of the people that truly matter. I may disappoint them. They may be like, oh, but they're going to accept me. So I'm not really striving for it, but I do want to make my people proud.
Yeah. If you didn't have to work anymore, what would you do with your days?
I would be on a beach somewhere.
Same.
1,000%.
I would
be
on the beach
be in the
and
ocean.
have a mountain house.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd have both.
I'd want to go ski every now and then. But for me, it would be beach. I would.
You know what we could do? We could buy a house in California, because you know it's so much easier.
California water's cold.
I know. I'm just saying, like, there's parts of California though that it's like wine country mountains.
True.
And then in an hour you can be at the beach, and then you go back to your mountain country. It is so cool. Like,
can we have one in Florida or somewhere too? No, because I need warm water.
Yes,
like, or Mexico even. Like, I'm good with Mexico.
I'm literally putting out in the universe we're gonna be so wealthy we have multiple houses.
Okay,
like, I'm
I love
just like not I'm not stopping.
Let's do it
until we have multiple houses.
Done.
What are the 5 most common things in your daily routine aside from basics such as eating and sleeping?
TV, talking to my people, and then I really just eat and sleep. I don't know. A bath, like I want a bath every day.
You work out.
Not as much as I should. I wouldn't say that's daily, but yeah. So yeah, there's some exercise. I'll try to get up and move as much as I can during the work day, you know, making laps around the office. I really lead a pretty boring life. I don't go out with people a lot.
You talk to your man.
I talk to my man every day.
That's common.
A lot a day. That's common right now. Yeah, I mean, my Snap stories, I've got a few of those, or Snap streaks that I keep going. So those are in there. Yeah. But yeah, I really lead kind of a boring life. So I don't really know. I guess I wake up, I Snap people, I talk to my man,
what
I
you
go to
call
work,
boring is like everyone's normal.
I think so too.
I don't think it's boring.
It's a pretty normal life. It's not anything exciting, no extravagant things. I go to work, I come home, I eat, I take a bath, I go to bed. I'm
trying to think. My 5 most common. I'm a very routine person. Very, very routine.
That's me. That's what I'm saying.
So, other than eating and sleeping, which I'm a podcaster, like not just on here, but like I love podcasts. So pretty much every morning I get up and I'm turning on a podcast. I'm very routine in everything that I do. So I usually listen to a podcast while I'm getting ready in the morning. That's usually almost every day. Then I am a habitual Instagram checker. And that is an everyday thing, just because like my business mainly runs on Instagram, which I love, but it's my only platform. So if you guys try to find me or on Facebook, I do not have it anymore. Mainly on Instagram. I talk to my 2 closest friends every day, and usually my sister. So those 3 people I talk to just about every day of the week. I am pretty OCD about my house. So I'm like it's very common and for me to be like a tidy king. Right now my house is probably messier than it's ever been. I had a meltdown last night. I kind of crashed out on JC about it. So side note, I have crash outs every once in a while, and I crashed out on the way home last night from our meeting because if I feel like I'm losing control of my situations, I crash out a little bit. And it wasn't like I was having a meltdown. I just more or less was like, I'm very overwhelmed right now. And I said, I feel like I'm very overwhelmed. My house is not as tidy as I like it to be. I was like, there's stuff sitting everywhere. I said, I have no help. My vehicle needs to be serviced. I'm working all these days. And she was like, hold on, stop. She was like, I will help you. First of all, let's hire you a house cleaner. That's going to help. One thing off your plate right there. She was like, we will get the vehicle taken care of. She was like, I know you're overwhelmed. She was like, you literally, because I'm kind of the forefront of Alexander and DeWitt. And she helps a lot. I'm not saying that JC doesn't help a lot. I do a lot of the interaction and a lot of the basis of the company because I just have more knowledge in that. And I'm hoping that as the company grows, she's able to step. Sure. And I know she will.
As she learns
more about it. I know she's going to. She's incredible at it, but she really does a vital part of our company, which is the accounts receivable. And that is very hard for our company because we have lots of accounts and it's a lot to deal with. So she has a lot on her plate when it comes to that, when jobs happening and all that. So anyways, I'm a little bit overwhelmed. So last night I had a little bit of a crash out because typically I'm a very much like morning coffee drinker. I get up and do my tidy and I clean and I make sure that everything's good before I go to bed or go to work because I habitually usually make my bed before I leave. I've not been making my bed. I think that's a part of I'm out of routine a little bit. And we were supposed to be in New York today. Actually, we were flying out yesterday. So we're supposed to be in New York right now, and it's New York Fashion Week. So we were preparing to be there where we're going to meet one of our really close friends that's in the fashion world.
Oh, that's cool.
And go into her showroom. But the weather is horrible in New York. It is literally 5 degrees there right now. So we postponed the trip and we're going to go back actually in April instead. So my life is chaos. My bedroom's full of 96 outfits laid out. There's shoes everywhere because I was packing. Right. You know what I mean? So the trip was canceled. Then we got another job. Yeah. I mean, y'all, it's just insane. So my common things in my daily routine has been disturbed. And I think it's also, I'm so weird. I know that y'all are going to be like, oh God, here we go. I believe it's another lesson that I'm trying to learn right now. I think I'm being taught a lesson that it's okay. It's okay.
It is okay.
Like, life is still going to go on if my house doesn't look like a show home. If my common daily routine is disturbed, it's going to be okay. Life is still going to go on. And I really do believe that I'm being taught this little lesson in life of like, hey, I'm preparing you for, you've been through all these things you've overcome. Can you please stop being so OCD and weird?
Just relax.
I think the universe is like, unclench your ass. Talk about that. I need to unclench my own ass on this, because if y'all were to be around me, you would be like, you are, oh my God. Because I never sit down. I never relax. So it's like my daily routine it's a lot. I think other people would look at it and be like, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. I want to be boring. I do. Like, I tell people that all the time. I'm like, I want to be boring. I don't want to be like this. I want to just not be like this and be so OCD. And like, I had a little bit of a meltdown on the way over here because my car was dirty on the outside. And I'm like, why am I having a meltdown about this? Who gives a shit if my car's dirty? But I don't like it.
It's been snowy and dirty and everything else.
I know. And this is probably one of the character flaws that I have that guys see in me. I know they do. I know that they see this because my friend Erin, she recently told me, she goes, you're too put together. She was like, I need you to be just like kind of shitty sometimes.
Be normal.
She was like, kind of be shitty. She said, I come to your house. She said, it's literally like a fucking museum in here. And she said, then you're dressed perfect. And then you just have all the great wine and you have you know how to entertain. And she said, I don't like it. She said, I need you to just, and I was like, okay, so maybe that this is the universe.
Here, I'll buy a box of wine.
literally, I think it's literally the universe like,
chill.
I need you to chill.
Yeah.
If you chill out a little bit, you may be a little bit more approachable. So I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm starting to understand.
Because you can like what you like and like things in a certain way.
Yeah.
And also be okay when they're not. And that's the part that you're learning.
I'm learning
to be okay when they're not. Like, the house is not going to always be perfect. You're going to come home from this trip, and that suitcase is going to be there, and it's going to drive you nuts every time you look at it. But you're going to have other things to do, or you're not going to mess with it. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
it's going to be there. You'll get it taken care of. It's not the be all and all. It's not going to eat you. It's fine.
I know. I'm working on it.
I know.
Working through this at this moment.
It's fine. I like it.
What do you wish those 5 most common things were instead?
Oh, I wish I was way more routine. I wish that I was still meal prepping.
We need to be changing places.
Seriously. I wish I was still meal prepping, because I don't meal prep anymore. I used to be really, really good at it and stayed on task and would always have food. Even if I didn't, because I don't eat regularly enough. I'm well aware of that. And I never have. I've never had real good eating habits. Like, it's just not anything I've done. And a lot of it's been the jobs that I've had and things like that. But I would always have food to eat prepared that I could just go eat. I would always, if I wanted to take a lunch, I had a lunch prepared. I would meal prep. I would get up every morning and go work out, or go to my living room and work out. Either go to the gym or I'd go to the living room and work out. I would do that every day. I would be more mindful about my time. I would clean up more. I would make sure the house was put up. My house always looks lived in. There's always going to be a blanket that's strewn on the couch in my nest where I stay. There's always going to be pillows everywhere. Like, there's going to be things. You're going to know my house is lived in. There's going to be a pile on the end of my coffee table. But I used to be much better at putting things away and making sure everything had a place. And I think a lot of it is the place that I live now, I know is not a permanent home, which, I mean, I've been there forever. It almost is, but I know it's not my permanent house. And I feel like if I make it more comfortable, I'm going to get more comfortable in it.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. I used to be much more structured. So I do wish I had a little of that back. Yeah. I wish that I was more routine in my exercising. I wish I was more routine in my meal prepping and eating better and doing the things that I know I need to do to be healthy, because I am certainly not getting any younger. And I look at, genetics and health concerns and things that are coming down the pike for me. I'm well aware. So I know I need to take better care of myself. I just haven't been. And a lot of it's been stress, and a lot of it's just been the overwhelm of everything that's going on in life and the world and everything else. So I do wish that I could bring those habits back in. And I am working on it slowly, one step at a time. But yeah, I wish I could snap my fingers, magic wand it, and tomorrow wake up and have it ready to go. But it's just not going to happen.
Yeah. There's a few things I do wish that I would do, like in the gym more and things like that. I think I wish I could add meal prepping, same thing. But on the flip side of that, there's certain things, obviously, like we just talked about, I need to unclench and be more forgiving to myself on. So yeah, those are some of the things I wish that I would do instead of being so hard on myself and so militant of my lifestyle. So
on that note, everyone, we are going to stop this episode. We are going to continue this conversation next week. So join us next week.
We will see you guys then.
Thank you for joining us on Hey Therapist. For my co-host, Riley DeWitt, I'm Leslie Ross. You can contact us on the website at heytherapist.com or on our socials at Hey Therapist Social. Hey Therapist is an SEOK radio production and is for your entertainment purposes only. Thank you for joining us. Make good choices.